If you realize, communication has always been two ways. Communicating ideas always happen primarily two ways: audio and visual. When you say audio, which is verbal, right? When you speak something to somebody, you try and communicate your ideas through words, and the other format was to go ahead and communicate them through visuals. Now, these visuals could be images, they could be graphics, they could be written text, it could be anything, right? But obviously, there is a special place in business, and there is a special impact that visuals do create. That's the only reason we have presentations. That's the reason we have dashboards. That's the reason we have flow charts. That's the reason we have infographics, right? So there always has been. I always used to wonder, there is a gaping hole in the market for a tool like this, which could leverage AI functionalities and kind of interpret whatever you want to say using AI into a meaningful format, yet not remain boring at the end of the day, right? So I was upset a lot of times that we didn't have a tool like that until recently, where I figured out a tool that we're just going to talk about. But before that, the way I used to do things before all of this was using a tool called Excalidraw, which was my go-to, which is very flexible because you can go ahead and make data flow diagrams. You can use different elements. You can use arrow connectors. You can use text. You can also get images from from other apps or your PNGs that you have, and you can also you leverage AI, right? So while these are self-explanatory, I've been doing this for a while now, and I mean it kind of gives you a context as to what it means, right? So it is compatible on AI, it is compatible. It is compatible with iPad, etc., but very flexible that way. Now, but you need to have a lot of effort that you need to put into write and make graphics, and go ahead and drag and drop, change colors, etc. But one thing which I found was a decent addition to this tool was the utility of AI, right? Now, when I say AI, it is kind of semi AI, where you can just kind of convert text to images or data flow diagrams. Now, this is where I copy a text, right? Random text, which is a three-step lead magnet process. When I say generate an image out of this, it goes ahead and tries and generates an image based upon the AI functionality, which kind of gives me this, right? I like it. I'm not saying I'm complaining, but nothing fancy about it, nothing too interesting about it, right? It is a simple data flow diagrams, and it would have obviously taken me the same time for me to go ahead and hand draw these using the same tool. Now, where does the AI functionality add value? Like a lot of value, like exceptional amount of value. I didn't see any. Now, if I go here and say mermaid to Excalidraw, it converts this into a mermaid code, which you can go ahead and use to create this. Again, simple data flow diagram. But considering this is free, I cannot expect much, and I'm quite happy with what this tool does for free. While that was free, it also brought me to another tool very recently called as Napkin AI, which is, the best. I kind of felt like I found the right product, right? I'm quite happy that it just does exactly what it says. It is the most easiest way to go ahead and go ahead and make your napkin ideas, where you don't have to make it. You just have to leverage AI to make it. You just copy paste the text or whatever in whatever format that you have, and you can let Napkin.ai go ahead and do its amazing uh, uh, amazing things that it does. So let's get started without any delay. And this is Napkin.ai. It's still in beta. While in beta, you get the professional plan for free, but there's a clause: keep generating your visuals. It's free for now. We won't lock your data behind a paywall, and we'll offer a deal for you for our long-term followers. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's just give it a few minutes for it to load. There you go. So this is an account that I have signed up for, and this is a beta version, right? And I've tried a few things, but I just want to show you from the scratch. So let's say anytime that you would want to create a new graphic, all you have to do is create new napkin. You can either draft with AI or blank napkin. Let's see what happens when we do both. So I'll click on blank napkin, where it creates you a blank version. So what you can go ahead and do here is, you have this text that you've copied, which is the three-step process to creating a lead magnet. You just copy it here, and you can just say three-step process to creating a lead magnet, right? And then you have this, right? Now the beauty of this is that you can go ahead and either break step by step of this and let AI consolidate what you would want, or you can select the entire thing and then go ahead and let AI do its magic, right? So you see this blue sparkle thunderbolt or lightning bolt icon. Let me zoom the font so that you know you're clear. Now you can do either of those. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm just going ahead and clicking on this entire thing, and I'm just going to click on the lightning icon here. So it just scrolls through the entire text and it gives you a bunch of options as to how do you want me to represent this text, right? You can either use a step-by-step format that you see here, or you can do it in a funnel structure, or you can do it in a pyramid structure, or you could do it in a pie diagram, or you could do it in a very interesting graphical representation, right? You have a lot of styles that you can go ahead and indicate this. Now you can choose whatever appeals to you more, and then you can go ahead and click on that. For me, I think this is much better, right? Where or maybe this, right? So you can go ahead and use like a three-step lead magnet strategy using a pyramid structure. When you click on this, it'll also give you, right, different kinds of pyramids that you can go as like a sub format, right? So you can go ahead and choose anything that you like. Let's say we choose this. Okay, now once you choose that, your entire text has been condensed to a meaningful format of representing this without you having to lift a finger. Maybe you just moved your mouse here and there, but that's about it. Now this is how interesting this tool is. Now let's look at another way of doing this. Now let's copy the same text again. Now this time let's not go ahead and do the entire sequence at once. Let's break it down and let the let Napkin try and translate this into a meaningful infographic or graphic or whatever you want to call it, right? It only gives you a few formats again. Now let's say three-step lead magnet process. Pros and cons is something that we are not looking at. We are looking at the three-step process, right? Maybe this is interesting. And you click on, let's say, this format, right? So what is the three-step process? One is engagement, enticement, then you have target audience, then you have actionable steps. Let's see if this translates the same thing. Identify your target audience's primary problem, then break down the solution into three actionable steps, providing only the first step in your lead magnet, leaving the remaining steps to entice them to engage further with your product or service, essentially giving them a taste of the value while leaving and wanting them more, right? So basically, this is exactly what it translates into. Now, there is also this headline which missed out, so we're copying this and let's do the whole thing now, and let's see what AI translates. The formats may be the same. You may have the same kinds of formats to start with. I mean, I'm pretty sure they would be working on improvising these. But do you see how, if you had to do this using the most simplest of the tools, it would at least take you an hour for sure, right? Now, this is where you can go ahead and replicate your text, which is what are the problems, key steps to indicate a three-step problem, identify the core problem, which is this, right? Then you have break down the solution, deliver only the first step. Now this, it's simple, right? It is very, very simple. The beauty is you can either copy this, copy as PNG, go to a tool like Excalibur. I'm pretty hopeful you can paste it. Or you're not. So or maybe the best thing is to take a screenshot and then you can go ahead and paste it, right? I tried doing that, it works. Now it is really interesting. I really loved the way this gets represented, right? Now you can go ahead and search images, you can upload your own images, you can add labels, you can go ahead and you can even go ahead and start adding new connectors to this and adding new elements, new colors. You can add circles, you can do whatever you want, right? And at the end of it, you can all download it. Now you can use different kinds of connectors, and you can say, let's say, sketch, and if you want to draw a speech icon or something that looks like a speech bubble, you can do that, right? It'll give you different formats for you to choose from. It's not showing now, but you will see it. Let's say if this is something I want, and then I can go ahead and add a label to it, and I can, this section, uh, give, this section is a detailed view of the right? Now it's very simple, self-explanatory, where it just condenses the whole thing into whatever you want based upon what you would want to convey through your graphic, and all in one step, all in the click of a button. And this is how your napkin works in terms of starting from a blank surface. Let AI draft this, right? Write a prompt to generate text content. Let's say I am looking at a three-step lead magnet creation process. Need your help with it. That's about it. Right? Now the AI goes to work. AI is it even goes ahead, and you don't even have to go copy paste content from somewhere. It goes ahead and writes it for you. Right? Let's see what it does. Okay, three-step lead step process. Now, if you want to indicate this using your AI, you can simply say it is essential to do that. So let's see what this comes up with. You can either do it for each paragraph, each line, each sentence, each bullet point. You can do whatever you want, right? Let's see if let's put this to real test. Now I'm just using Napkin AI to go ahead and create an effectively for this three lines of text, right? Let's see what it comes up with. So it gave you a few things where it goes ahead and tells you what I mean. Okay, this seems like a reasonable format, right? Let's stick to this. Now identify the target audience, choose the right format, create and promote a lead magnet. These are the three steps. Now go to the first step and try and let the AI do its thing, where it scans through the first step and it tells you what are the things that you should be doing ideally, and and it kind of gives you an understanding as to uh, flexibility as to okay, now look at how self-explanatory this is, right? Know your audience, which is identifying your target audience, right? Know your audience, grow your impact. You can either do that, or you can simply go ahead and look at this way, where you can identify all the factors responsible for identifying your target audience, or you can look at this as a three-step process where you go ahead and identify the pain points, the demographics and psychographics, or you can go ahead and try different formats, different elements to better understand. You can either use it internally within your organization, or you can either save it or send it to your team or your potential customers so that they understand, right? This I think makes a very good case. Now demographics, which is age, gender, location, occupation. I mean, in identifying the target audience, you have to look at demographics, you have to look at psychographics, you have to look at pain points. You have done nothing. You just have highlighted this, which is not even written by you, and then you let the AI do its thing, and you get the representation of this in the most accurate format, right? Then you have choose the right format. So let's look at this and say, okay, go for it. What format to choose? Ebooks or in-depth information versus checklists. You can identify all the other ways you can represent this text, and look at how meaningful it is, and it's just happening in front of you like magic, right? Create and promote your lead magnet. You let that happen. Now I'll show you something interesting after this, right? So we have selected all the entire step 3, and we're asking, okay, show me the entire process, because I would want to go ahead and create my lead magnet and thereby promote it, right? All right, so it has given us these steps or these formats. See if you can switch any of these things. Okay, promotion, landing page, content creation. You can further break this down manually, or you can get some more text and let the AI do its thing, which means, let's say this seems like a reasonable logic, so I'm going ahead with this. And what I mean by that is add another connector to this. Content creation, agreed, but how do you want to make it more effective? So what I would do is I would move this a little, and content creation, I would add a connector, right? And I would write more text. Let's add more text here. And I would say identify right context, right format, research content that is trending, and make posts on social media. I'm just keeping it simple, random, but you get the idea, right? Okay, so this is done. Now I would want to, let's format this a little. Now I would want this to be executed by AI so that it gives me another format for this, right? Let's say choose this, right? Shorten this, format it properly, and move it to where you would want. So let's say you can hide this or you can remove this, and you can just use this as a connecting element, right? So that is how you can go ahead and start adding more to it. So now if you start looking at it, you can do it for landing page, you can do it for promotion, you can do it for everything, and this is something all generated from the text. Now the interesting thing I wanted to show you was, now this is an overall understanding of things, right? Now let's look at how this works. Let's say I only took a look at this, right? I can change the font. I can add another link to it. I can add comments, whatever I want. But what I want to do is, instead of doing this entire paragraph as one graphic, I would want to break this down into smaller things. Okay. So create with develop high quality content that provides real value, ensure it is visually appealing and easy to understand. So maybe I would want to use this to replicate it as content creation pillar, and then I would slowly make it small, right? Quality, presentation, and value, right? And I can reduce this font. Okay, this is the content part of it. Now go to landing page and do the same thing here. You get what I'm saying, right? You don't have to like copy the entire text and have that follow just one infographic or graphic. You can go ahead and break this down into different situations, scenarios. You can use that as different elements of the same graph. Now I move this up, right, and I can do it for promotion as well. So this is the content, this is landing page, and the third part, promotion, is happening now. So if I did like, when I did like one graphic of the entire thing, this is what I had gotten, right? This pyramid. Now you can use this pyramid, you can break it down and start copying these small images to make it more appealing, right? That is exactly what I mean. And then it gives us different formats for these. You can look at, okay, promotional channels for lead magnets. Maybe this looks a little colorful. I'm going to use this, right? And you can make it small. So what I meant was, you can actually use these three graphics under this, right? So you have, for under promotional channels, I can use this big graphic. Under landing page, I can use this graphic. This graphic. And do you see how from a bunch of text I was able to get a very interesting graphic, right? Without even writing a paragraph, without even touching or using the stroke of a brush using any tools. So this is exactly how Napkin can function, and it can help you not just replicate things. It can also give you a very meaningful structure in terms of coming up with outlines, coming up with ebook outlines, coming up with chapter outlines. It can help you work wonders. So I strongly urge everybody to use it and go for the pro version while it is still in beta, so that you get those additional features. And that's about it. So I'm pretty sure you would love this tool, and don't let go of this opportunity where you can actually do something crazy, interesting, and fun with this tool. So that's about it. Thank you so much. I'll see you again in the next video. Until then, my name is Casey.